Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a test to see just how far we can push Farming Simulator and my gaming PC with a insane number of CoursePlay and AutoDrive workers. So we've got several things set up and ready to go here. This is my Western Australia 16x map. And I have 4 planters ready to go. I've got 3 tractors with plows. We have 3 different harvesting crews with combines, green teams up here, red teams up here, and Klaus team is down here. And then way down to the south, we have 3 self-propelled sprayers that we're going to kick in, along with maybe something else. We'll see. But as we go, I'm going to be showing the monitoring software that I use on my PC. You see there in the upper left corner. We'll watch what happens to the GPU percentage, the CPU, RAM, etc. as we turn on these different workers and we get into the game. So I'm going to turn that back off just for a moment right now. And then we'll take a look at the in-game FPS counter that you see there in the green text overlaying some of the menu. We'll leave that turned on just to kind of see. We're looking baseline of 43 frames per second, just kind of standing here doing nothing right now. And we'll watch as we turn these workers on and get them moving, see what that does relative to what the monitoring panel on my PC shows us. Before we get started with our test, I wanted to go over the settings that I'm using. I've got a 1440p gaming monitor, so as you can see, 2560 by 1440. I'm running very high hardware profile. Most everything else, I think, except maybe the frame rate limit, which I have set up to pretty close to the top of my monitor's capabilities. But I think most of this is standard. So this is what we'll be doing the test with, and we'll show as we go through this. I'll have the ability to put the monitoring window up in the video so that you can see that and see how the game responds as we go through and keep adding more and more workers and getting more things going on. So anyway, just a quick overview of my game display settings, and then we'll get into this. Let's see what we can do. See if we can bring this thing to its knees. All right. So I'm going to jump down, and we're going to start with the Klaus team down at the bottom in field 10 and get them going. So I already have all the CoursePlay courses and everything loaded into these machines. So let me back him up here just a little bit. And first waypoint, left 2. You go ahead and do your thing. Maybe. There we go. And so I'm going to get one harvester started, and then I'm going to put a grain cart right behind that harvester so that when they get full, we can keep this thing going. So we'll just kind of take one team at a time. You can see I have AutoDrive set up to chase the harvester. Field 10, wait south is the waypoint. Why do you already have your auger out? That's interesting. Okay, whatever. So we'll start that one. And if we jump into this harvester, yep, you should see if you look over in the AutoDrive window that everything's all matched up and they're on the right point. So let's go back and get another harvester as I run through the bushes. Oh, forgot to turn that on. There we go. So you can see GPU's running 35 to 40% depending. So let's see what happens. Still holding good. We only really have a couple of machines going so far, so let's get this one moving. And then we'll go get another grain cart. Starting to drop a little bit there on the frame rate. But we're just getting started. I mean, this is only, what, 4 machines active at the moment. All right, turn that one on. Next harvester. This is going to take a minute if we got 40 of these things to go. So y'all bear with me. We'll kind of watch and see as it goes. Right one, first waypoint, go. Yep, got it. All right. Let's go get a grain cart for that harvester. So you see we got a pretty significant drop there. Now we're down to about a little over 29, 30, somewhere in that neighborhood, 35. As we start to pile on these machines. But yet, looking at our GPU, it's still not doing a lot. And one last harvester for this crew. Come on. There it goes. Took it a second to figure that one out. And the last grain cart. Down to about 30 frames a second now. This will make, what, 8 pieces of equipment running. You can kind of see the list there in the bottom of the screen. Which ones are CoursePlay. They've got that underscore CP thing in the magenta type text. Turn that one on. Okay, so last but not least. We need to go over here and activate our semi trucks. So F10 load south, main silo, wheat. Okay, so we got that one turned on. And this one turned on. And you'll see if you can see there. Let's see if I can get it somewhere a little better. There we are. Those have AD underscore AD in the title in the magenta text. So that's the first 10. So each harvesting crew has got 10 total vehicles, and we got 3 harvester crews. So math on that's pretty easy. So that's 30. So let's hop up now and get the green team going. They're all ready to go. First waypoint left 2. You can rock and roll. Oh, sure. Why not? And get a grain cart. Ah, that one did the same thing as the first one. Put out the pipe as soon as they started. F3 wait. Okay. So if you're keeping score, that should be 12. We're dipping down into low 20s on the frames per second. Okay, harvester number 3 from green team. Almost there with green team. One more harvester. Taking a second to figure things out once we tell it to start there. Ooh, look at that frame rate. Dropped in the dirt. Okay, and our last grain cart, and then we will get those 2 semis turned on. Starting to see some sub 20 frame rates here. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so if my math is right, that should be 20? No, not yet. 18. Gotta turn the semis on. And then it'll be 20. Okay, now we should have 20. Okay, let's go get the red team started. First waypoint left 2. Go ahead. This one's going to be a little different. I got to wait for them to get past the trucks up there where the grain carts are. So we'll just go ahead and start all 4 of these. Y'all forgive my jerky movement. I've been playing QASD keyboard movement since the days of the original Doom, so that's kind of how muscle memory how I roll, so okay. Big drop there as CoursePlay kicked that in. GPU's just loafing over there, though. I think it's the usage on it is lower than when we started. CPU is basically asleep. All right, we'll turn these trucks on as we go by. Let's see, this one first. soon as this one goes by, we'll pull this tractor out in the field. Turn that one on. Consistently under 20 frames per second now. Turn that one on. Ooh, dipping down sub 15. One more here, and that will make 30 workers going. See, our list has grown quite a bit. Okay, there's 30, and we're starting to hover at 15, 16 frames per second. You see it kind of getting into the red there for performance. But we're not done yet. We're going to keep going. So we're going to bump the slider there. Sorry. Let's get some planters started. So let's hop there. So this is a John Deere DB120, a 120-foot planter. I don't even know how many rows that makes. So give me a second to get it lined up here and get it started. It is massive. So we're going to be starting 4 of these, one in each field. I have run 2 in one field before. Unless it's huge and maybe getting late in the day, it's kind of pointless. Okay, get this lined up. First waypoint. Go. Okay, so that's 31 if you're keeping score. And it's going to take a minute for that thing to get unfolded. So while it's doing that, you can see it's just barely now starting to. So while it's doing that, we'll go start a couple more. Okay. Same thing. Got it a little tight on that corner where the course starts. Ooh, look at that. 12, 13 frames per second. But yet only 14% on the GPU, so right. This would have done it itself, but I like to try to get them in position lined up. There's that one. Let's jump over to this field over here. I didn't go too far. Nope. You go. And last but not least, field number 1. So this should make 34 once we start this tractor. All right, so now we're really in the dirt. 12 frames per second consistently. Still only about 18% GPU though, and the CPU barely is rolling over out of bed. RAM usage is climbing a bit. So we got 32 total gigs of RAM in this machine, an i9 9900K processor, and an RTX-3080 Ti, and I forget how much RAM that thing has on it, but it's pretty significant. All right, so while they're unfolding, let's go back and check on our first one. Yep, he's moving. See there. See how wide that thing is. It's crazy. All right, 13 frames per second. But wait, there's more, okay? We have 3 Fendt tractors with John Deere plows. Now, I don't really necessarily need to plow this. I was just really looking for an excuse to A, play with a Fendt tractor, and B, add a few more workers to this just to see how much we could stress it. So we're going to start these 3. And it's really starting to lag at this point. Like, movement's a little jerky. Oops, forgot to start the engine. We're down to 11. I saw 10 there for a second. You can really start to see how janky it is. And just smooth. First waypoint center. You go ahead. Where's that third tractor? There it is. Don't see a lot of Fendt tractors around where I grew up and where I am now. I don't know how big of a presence they have in the US, but I haven't played with them too much. Past this tree so we can unfold. There we are. Hello. There we are. Okay, so you go ahead. Holding steady about 11 frames a second. Not really counting that drop when CoursePlay kicks in. Okay, so how many is that now? That should be 37 workers. I think my highest that I had ever done before was 34 on this map. So we're breaking new territory here. Still 13%, 14% GPU load. So let that one get moving. Okay. All right, last group. We're going to jump down way down south. Okay, here we are down in the southeast portion of the map, and we have 3 of these John Deere sprayers all set up and ready to be putting some herbicide out on some fields of corn that we planted last month. So if you're counting with us, that's 37 current workers, and we're going to turn these on to make us an even 40 and kind of see first waypoint, and should be, yeah, there we go. That's a little further up, so I couldn't see it. Go ahead and start that one. Oh, he's not smooth at all. If you saw the wheels turning there, how they're just kind of click, click, click instead of being smooth. See what the unfold animation does for this one. Where's the start? Oh, it's up here. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay. That's not terrible. That actually wasn't bad there. 13% GPU down to 10 or 11 frames per second. That last boom section. And off that one goes. So let's hop in one of the others. This one. Go. So it looks like our floor so far has been about 10 frames per second, which is pretty abysmal, honestly, considering the hardware that I have to throw at this. Okay, we won't watch the animation sequence on that one. Let's go ahead and get this third one started. And that should make 40. So if I do a quick count, we know we have 30 in the harvesting crews. We have 4 planters going. Oh, there's sub 10. I saw 8 or 9 frames per second there. Yeah, that's you can visually see that is not very smooth standing from out here watching. So, like I said, we have 30 in the harvesting crews. We have 4 planters going. That's 34. We have 3 plows going. That's 37. And now we have 3 sprayers going. That's 40. So, looking at the available hardware that I have, games typically aren't a huge CPU draw anyway, so that's not unexpected to see very little CPU usage. Like I said, I've got a i9 9900K in this machine with 32 gigs of RAM. What is a little surprising to me, however, is that the GPU is not being utilized any more than it is. So, I've spent several decades in software engineering. So, given the evidence that I have available right here, and actually some anecdote, I did a clean boot on the machine before we did this, and there's very little running. So either the amount of mods that I have in here, which is pretty significant, and we'll list those later. I think there's like a gig and a half of mods, including the map. But with the evidence that I see, I can only, at this point theorize that there's some sort of a bottleneck in the game that either with the game itself or with the CoursePlay and AutoDrive add-ons, how they interact with the game or something. But we're not rendering anything. There's almost zero motion going on right here, right? There's a little bit of leaf moving maybe, and I don't even see that. But we should be getting way more than 10 frames per second in the current viewport, even at 1440p and high resolution. So there's got to be some sort of a bottleneck either in the game or in the mods or something that is holding us back. So anyway, I hope that was educational, fun to watch. It's not often that, a lot of people, especially on console, are able to play with this size of a map and this number of CoursePlay workers and stuff. So hopefully this was fun to watch and give you some ideas on how you can stress your system. So until next time, thank you very much, and we'll talk with you later.